Hello guys, hello, please welcome to my video. I am going to shut this sound off. In a minute. I'm just going to my PlayStation app to mute the sound real quick. So let me just do that real quick. Get everything set up. I think I might have hit the wrong button, but let me just get this set up, and then I'm gonna grab my piece of paper when that loads, so we can talk about some weekly pick. I understand that this video is by the way is a little late, so sorry about that. I was trying to see my... Hey, first, hi, how are you? I was trying to see if I can get a printer because our printer broke and we haven't gotten a printer yet, so I couldn't print it, so I have to write them out. So bear with me when I do get a printer. I'll just boom, 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 fill them in. So for now, this is how we're doing it. Hopefully I can pick it up by the weekend, but I don't know. So I want to do this video before Thursday night football. So before Thursday night football happens. Thursday night football is going to be a good matchup to watch because it is hang on. Okay. Let's get that. It is it is a AFC North division, and that division is very tight. Oakland, Kansas City, and Broncos, they all one game and part of it. I'm going to tell you who I want to win. Either one of these teams are very hard to pick because they both are such very, very good teams. So I'm going to pick it based on how I want the playoffs to ride. I want Kansas City to win for a couple reasons. One, I like Andy Reid is a great coach. In my mind, Andy Reid is a good coach who understands the game of football. So I think Andy Reid is a very good coach. He's really reliable, and I think he can do a great job. I like him. I like Alex Smith, and most importantly, I want Kansas City to win because Oakland only has two losses, and they right now are in the first seed for home field advantage, and the New England Patriots are in second seed. So if Kansas City wins, it'll give us about one game breathing room, and I think that is very key because what they do is they are going based on how they do it is they base on conference, the AFC conference, because they play in 6 games in the conference, 6 games out in conference, and then 6 games in the division, and then they have 4 games out of conference for like an AFC North, and they go either or. That's how they are. And the same division plays the same exact teams all year, so it's really equal, and it's being a better equal opportunity. And then 2 of the same AFC division plays the same the other team divisions and so forth. So it really I think a very unique thing if you ask me. So I want to get into it. So I want Kansas City to win because of that, and it gives us, they lose, we'd be popped up in 1. We need that 1 game breathing room. Because I don't know if we can handle it. So that's number 1 game. Kansas City, I want to win. I understand I put a Twitter poll, everybody wants Oakland to win. I want Kansas City to win just because of the playoff pitcher, and again, the head coach. Second, we have Pittsburgh versus Buffalo. I want Pittsburgh to win. I know Buffalo's out of the division. They can't beat our division. But I like Pittsburgh. I like Ben Roethlisberger. I think he's good. I think he can do a good job. 3, San Diego versus Carolina. I would like San Diego to win, just because I think San Diego can handle it, and I think they will do a great job as well. I think San Diego will do a great job. Cincinnati. Hi, friend. We miss you. I'll talk to you. So on. All right. So we have Cleveland. We have the Bengals versus Cleveland. Who do I want to win this game? Of course, no brainer. I want Bengals. Now, what's a funny story is my question to you guys is, do you think Cleveland is going to have a winless season, or do you think Cleveland is going to have a win season? Do you think winless? Yes? Or do you think no, we're not winless season? I am going to put a Twitter vote on there. RG3 is coming back. Maybe they can win a game or two. There's 4 games left. I haven't checked. But I am going to put a Twitter vote up on Twitter. So make sure you check that out on my Twitter vote. More active. Now, I haven't been doing any live streams lately because I'm really focusing on this football thing. I want to know about football. That's why I haven't really learned into it much, because of football. Alright? Next one we have Chicago versus Detroit. I understand Chicago won last week, but remember, they played the 49ers, not really watched game. I want Detroit to win. Detroit is also in that playoff race. As of right now, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, they are in 3rd place. They are in the 3rd seed. So because they are in the 3rd seed, they'll do a great job. I think they will. Houston at the Colts. I want the Colts to win just because Andrew Luck is back, and Andrew Luck is healthy, and Andrew Luck played a phenomenal game last week. I'm not saying Houston with Brock Osweiler. I don't think either one of these teams are going to make it into the playoff because there's so many good teams are in that race. Pittsburgh's in that race. Underneath there is Miami. So there's a lot of good teams are still in that race for playoffs. I don't think that either one of these teams are going to make it into the playoff, but I think they can go. I haven't checked their record lately. That's the next thing I'm going to do. I'm going to check there, and I'm going to do an update on the playoff picture probably next week. I'll do a playoff picture. So I have to check the record, but I think they definitely will go out with 500 or maybe even more past the 500 record. But I think they do a phenomenal job getting there, but I don't think they are a playoff team. Minnesota at Jacksonville again. Minnesota was very strong in the beginning. Didn't win. Then they had a lot of injuries, and then they went downhill. Sam Bradford and Andrew Peterson both got hurt. So that's really a bummer for them because they was a good team. I thought they was a strong team. They came out for the first 5 games, boom. And then when they have injuries, they just went. They fell right down the hill. So I think, I think they have a good chance of winning. But again, both of these teams are not going to make it in the playoffs, and both of these teams, I'm 50-50 on Minnesota. They'll go out with the season with 500, and Jacksonville is definitely not going to go out with the season with 500, or below 500. We have Arizona at Miami. Miami's gonna win this game, I think. But Miami, I think they were in the. Believe it or not, Miami was in the playoff race as of last week. Then Baltimore played them and got destroyed. So I really don't know. Now we play Baltimore on Monday Night Football. So I'm very afraid of how Miami. I think Miami's will go out. But I think Miami's just gonna win because I think they are a better team than the Cardinals. I think they perform better. I think Miami is definitely going to go out with a 500 record. They only lost 6. What did they lose? They lost 5 games. So they are going to go out with a 500 record. We already know they'll go out with 500 because there's 4 games left. Even if they lose the 4, they'd be 9 games and they will. Well, maybe. They are definitely not going to be out with 500. I think they can break 500, but again, I don't think they can make it in the playoffs. It's not too late. Denver, the Steelers, and them are in there. And the determining on that is the determining on the league, who won the most league games. That's how that's just determined. Who won the most out of the league? Who's going to win the most during that conference is who's up. Pop it up. Out of that whole list, who would I rather see? Denver. I don't want to see Denver in. They are going to make it. I don't want to see Denver in the playoff. I don't want to play them. I don't want to deal with them. I rather see. I don't mind seeing the Steelers. I don't mind seeing the Steelers in the playoffs. I don't want my Baltimore. I'd rather have the Steelers than Miami and Baltimore. Actually, yeah, the Steelers. So that's that. We have Washington at Philadelphia. Again, this is a NFC North matchup. Philly has a very good. Philly is not going to make the playoffs. Philly's out of the playoffs, but I think Philly can make a 500 record. Washington is going to make a playoff. They are in the race. They are in second seed. They are in second seed last week. They had an awful game against who they played. They had an awful game last week, but they'll come back and rebite and do better, and they'll move on, and they are going to be in the playoff. Believe it or not, they are in the playoff. They are in second seed. Second seed. New York Giants, and then Eagles. Eagles are definitely out of the playoffs. The Eagles are out of the playoffs, but Washington's still in it in that second seed. They need Merry Christmas. Deadpool, Merry Christmas to you. They need to win this ball game. If Washington wins this ball game, they are going to keep. They are in the playoff. I think this as a team definitely in the playoffs. There's a couple teams I'm not really sure who's going to be in the playoffs and who not. I can definitely tell you who I think and who I don't think. Teams that I definitely think is in the playoffs: Seattle, I think Cowboys, Seattle, Washington, and that's it. The other 3 are up and down in the air, but them 3 are definitely in the playoffs as your NFC. Your AFC matchup in the playoffs. Who do I think will be in the AFC? New England, the Raiders. Kansas City, definitely in the playoffs. A lot of teams, I'm not sure. Either Baltimore and Steelers are going to definitely be in the playoffs, but I'm not really sure of that. The 2 I know are them 2. Denver versus Tennessee. Denver's going to win that game. Denver is still in that playoff race. They have a chance to get in that playoffs. They have a chance to get in the playoffs. I think they still have a phenomenal chance. They either will get the 5th or 6th seed playoffs, I think. The 6th, definitely the 6th, either the 6th. They are in that race again. Miami and the Steelers are both up there. So Denver, I'm happy that even if we lose this game to Denver, won't cost us the home field. It will cost us the home field advantage, but not to Oakland or Kansas City. So that's something to really look up to. Remember, we going into week 14, guys. There's only 4 games left in the regular season. We have to start thinking of playoff positions. We have to start reading into playoff, how they playing, how you think, and where they are going to place. It's that time of the year. And, starting on week 12, I follow this. But I'm really going to get more in depth in the playoff picture, further and further into the playoff picture. Most definitely, week 16 and week 17, definitely I'm going to get into it. New York Giants versus San Francisco. I think the New York Giants are going to win. San Francisco has a lot of problems. They are out of the playoffs, and I don't think they'll break the 500 record. Now, the New York Giants also have a very hard division with Washington, Dallas, and Philly underneath. Giants are still in that playoff race. I think they can make it into. I don't think they can. It's hard to say. 50-50 they'll make it in the playoff. They are in the playoff race. So believe it or not, they are in that playoff race. They can go out there and win and get in the. They are definitely in the playoff race. But the problem is with the New York Giants is, remember, Tampa Bay is right there with them. Tampa Bay is either a clinch division or Atlanta. Atlanta and Tampa Bay are right in that alley. I think, believe it, and then you have, Washington definitely. That is going to be very interesting to see who's in that division. All right. So I'm going to look at it. Now, I do follow playoff pictures for both sides, AFC and NFC, because the NFC and the AFC plays the Super Bowl. Who would I rather play in the Super Bowl? Remember, in my week 12, halfway through the season, my prediction is Patriots versus Oakland, the AFC Championship, and the Seattle versus Dallas, the AFC. I'm more leaning towards Dallas home field, but I'm not sure about AFC. So, either one of them teams, we are in trouble for the playoffs and for the Super Bowl. Seattle versus Green Bay. Let's talk about that game. Seattle is definitely going to clinch that division. No brainer. They are very good at what they do. Seattle is playing Green Bay. Green Bay is not really anything. Green Bay is not going to make the playoffs. Green Bay is not going to make a 500 record. Green Bay is not that good this year. So, Seattle. Atlanta at LA. Again, Atlanta in the playoffs. Atlanta's going to win. Atlanta is definitely. I think Atlanta is going to be in the playoffs. I think Atlanta is definitely in the playoffs. It's either Atlanta's going to clinch the division or Tampa clinch it, they'll get a wild card spot. But I definitely think Atlanta is going to be in the playoffs. In the playoffs. Dallas, Seattle, Washington, and Atlanta are going to be it. But I'm not sure if Atlanta is going to get 4th seed or 5th. 4th or 5th or 6th. Wild card spot, or they'll clinch that division. That division is very tight. Tampa's right underneath them. Very tough division to watch out for. Atlanta. Also in that same division, New Orleans versus Tampa Bay. Again, Tampa Bay, they'll win it. Tampa Bay's on fire. They only lost 5 games this year. They are in a playoff. Right now, they are in the 6th seed. And Atlanta's winning the division. I would love to see Tampa and Atlanta both in the playoffs. I'm predicting both of them. the quarterback, number 3, I can't remember his name as the quarterback. He's a good quarterback. The head coach, they are getting better every year. They are a good team, and I think they are a playoff team. First Florida, Miami was in it, but a Florida team hasn't been in the playoffs for a long time. And this year, we could have had 2. We have 2 in the race. Jacksonville's out, but I'm more leaning towards and more reliable to Tampa in the playoffs than Miami. So Tampa. Alright, so now we're going to talk about... Wait a minute. Sunday Night Football. Oh, I'm sorry. I am so sorry, guys. I have made an error. Error. Man, I made an error. I'm so sorry. It is not the New York Giants. It was the New York Giants. I'm so sorry. I made a big boo-boo. New York Jets versus San Francisco. I'm picking New York Jets. This game is not anything to watch, nothing to watch, but if I have to pick a team, to be the New York Jets, because I think they can get the win. And they are out, and they're not going to be a 500 team. They are out. Team at San Francisco, team not even to watch. I made an arrow. Dallas versus New York Giants. NFC North matchup, both in the playoff race. New York Giants have Tampa Bay and Atlanta to watch out for in that. Dallas is definitely going to clinch the division. Washington, boom. I think Washington, but they are in the race. New York Giants are going to go out with a 500 record. Maybe a chance in the playoff. Now, if the Giants do make the playoff, it will be the first time when they went to the Super Bowl against the Patriots and win. So I do not want Giants versus Patriots Super Bowl. Seattle versus Patriots. I don't. I want, whoever's in the playoffs, I'm going to tell you off the bat who I don't want in the Super Bowl whatsoever. But the Giants can make it in the playoffs. They are definitely going to be a 500 team. Dallas is a good team, but Dallas played a very, I'm not saying bad game because they still won. Very close game. Dallas won because of the ref missed call. Dallas should have lost last week, but they won just because they won because of the refs. That's the only reason. If Dallas played like this against the Giants are going to win. But my pick for this game, for Sunday Night Football, is Dallas. I am definitely going to watch that game as well. Monday Night Football! We have Baltimore versus New England. Of course, I am going to pick New England because I am a New England fan. But I'm kind of a little scared about this game because of the way that Baltimore played last week. The next 2 games, this week and next week, I'm very nervous, not the last 2 weeks. But New England can clinch the division as early as next week. If Miami loses and we win, we clinch it. But I don't see Miami losing, and I'm very scared about this game. So I'm about 35%, so maybe 35 that we're gonna clinch the next week. If we don't, we might have to wait until week 16 to clinch. But again, New England, I do want to win. Okay? So guys, thank you for watching. This is Gavin from Gavin's Club. There is a lot of division matchup, a lot of Denver matchups in my mind. But again, thank you guys for watching. I am going to do a fantasy football video right after this to upload that because I've been a little bit behind. I am going to do a football card video maybe tomorrow. It might be a good day. Tomorrow. So look forward to that. And sorry I haven't been streaming any Blackout Madden games. I've been really focusing on football. After football season's done, February, I will stream a lot more games. Just right now, it's football season, and I'm streaming football. Guys, anyways, this is Gavin from GavinClub. Thank you guys for watching, and I am going to do a news and an NFL video. So thank you, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.